We are ready and waiting for you now. If it's a fight that you dare see, we've acquired our strength through pain. No more are we pathetic and you are the reason why we claim that we've all become this way. And I regret this prison that I've created for myself.
Music is Live Podcast is your host, Lou Mavs. Check out everything you need to know about the show over at musicislivepodcast.com. So I've interviewed a producer who's worked on hardcore. I've interviewed a guitar player who plays in one of the biggest New York hardcore bands. And today I'm happy to say that my special guests are two members of one of the sickest modern hardcore metal bands that I've heard. And no pun intended, but I'm very happy to say that joining me in the Zoom room from the SickLife, I have Tim and Denney. Guys, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you.
Cool. So you guys were mentioned to me. You were recommended to me by Mr. Tony Santana of Mob Hit Records.
Yes,
and he said, you really got to put these guys on the show. And I said, well, what do they do? And he said, oh, they're a hardcore band from New York. I said, that's all you needed to tell me. So as soon as he said that, I said, do they have music available? And he pointed me to Apple Music. And I saw that you have a 4-song EP on there. I've been listening to it for the last week every day, and there's so much that I have to say about it. I mean, first of all, it's one of my favorite releases, even though it came out 4 years ago. To me, it's still new, it's still fresh, and I really enjoyed it. Definitely hear that classic New York hardcore sound, but I also hear things that you don't hear in a lot of hardcore. You hear a lot of dynamics. And I'm happy to say that the breakdowns are where they should be and accentuate the song, not lead the song.
Hell yeah.
Which is the problem I have with a lot of hardcore bands, but not all of them. Most of Sumerian Records. But who said that? Anyway, but I really think it's a killer EP, and I want more music from SickLife. Mm-hmm. And that's why I brought you guys on the show, because I have the platform and I think the world needs to hear about you. So thank you for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you. Well, we're gonna accommodate you. We're gonna be releasing probably about another 12 songs over the next 6 months or so. So you'll be having a ton of new music, and we're also doing a collaboration with Mob Records, with Tony Santana. And hopefully that will lead to some more collaborations with other bands, other artists. So we're looking forward to see what kind of doors that opens up for us the next year or so.
Yeah, I wish you guys all the best with that. That sounds great, you know. And all right, so a little backstory. Having been from Queens, New York originally, Astoria, and having played in many venues around the city, Queens, Long Island, that have housed hardcore shows. It's probably safe to say that we both kind of came up in the same circle. I've said my story many times. I said my first hardcore show was a Motorhead concert that I saw Scarhead and Dropkick Murphys and Hatebreed at. They were the opening acts. And, I like to know more about the artists that I'm interviewing by, asking, where they came from, how they got up in their respective scenes, and, how it led to what they're doing right now. So if you could please answer that. Whoever would like to first. Tim, Denney, please, the floor is yours.
Sure. Well, I've been in bands since middle school, so I've always loved writing and performing. I would say the pinnacle of my musical career was being runner-up to Killswitch Engage's Vocal Search back in 2002. So that was a pretty amazing experience. To audition for Killswitch Engage at SRS Studios in New York City and be invited to their house up in Massachusetts for a weekend was just a surreal experience. Unfortunately, they chose Howard Jones, and I was left number 2. That doesn't have no trophies for number 2. So, but what it did was it really told me that maybe I could do this. You know what I mean? And I need to find the right people, surround myself with the right people. And, here I am 20 years later. I finally found the right guitarist and Denney. And we finally found the right drummer in our boy John, who just recently joined SickLife just a couple days ago. And now we're on an open hunt for a bassist to complete the four of us. And in the meantime, we're just going to keep churning out new music, keep recording. Hopefully the scene will open up and we'll get some more shows. We have a show coming up this Friday in Oakdale at Shaker's Pub. And, we're just going to keep going step by step. Every show is just, an extra, just step in the right direction. So we're just taking it day by day and, we'll see what happens. But as long as the music keeps churning out and it keeps becoming quality and it means something to us, we're real passionate. This is not a hobby. It's a lifestyle. And, I can tell, Lou, that you're passionate about music too. So that feeling how music gets us through the day sometimes, hard times, slow times, sad times, angry times. So, I know
good times.
Yeah, and good times. And good times. So, that's essentially where I'm coming from. So I know Denney feels a lot of the same, but everyone has their own story.
Yeah, definitely. I've been in bands also since I'm probably about 18. It was a hobby for a long time because I was focused on my job. I'm a trainer, by trade, but music is really my passion. So I've been playing guitar since I'm 12, fucking 41 now. So it's, quite a few years. I guess I found the right singer, like Tim said, he found the right guitarist, and we got that synergy. Our fucking music is insane. We just found the right drummer. We found a newfound energy in SickLife. We're about to play this show on Friday. It's about to get crazy.
That is awesome. And, I'm just happy that the craziness with I don't know if it's safe to say that the pandemic is over, but at least things have subsided so much that shows are opening back again, which is great because, it's unfortunate that especially in our home turf of Long Island, a lot of great places closed, the revolution's gone, but thankfully, Shakers is still doing shows, which is great. And there's also the Amityville Music Hall, which has shows starting lined up, I think July 1st and onwards to the end of the year. So that's pretty amazing. And I do know that you're currently on the lookout for a bassist. So I'm hoping that you have someone suitable to fill in this Friday.
We do. We have a great kid named Luigi from Massapequa. He's a little young. He's 19, but he answered the bell. I mean, I got his name from a friend through a friend, and he's not even a metalhead. He's just some aerospace designer student that just decided he just would help out, and he's done a great job so far. He's really blown us away. Too bad he's got to go back to school in the fall.
Nothing surprises me anymore. I just found out, I think Brian May from Queen is like a doctor of like aeronautics or something like that. So, hey, the best musicians are like in the places you would least find them. But that's cool. And, it's funny you mentioned Killswitch, by the way, Tim, because I when I was in college, we played the first album from Ferret Records religiously on my college radio station. How is that possible? Because I was the music director. That's why. Helps to know people.
There you go.
And and I had become friends with Mike D'Antonio. We become very friendly. You were constantly emailing me. And at the time, we didn't know that Jesse was leaving, which is funny because he's back in the band. But at the time, I think that they had lost their guitar player, Pete Cortez. And I wanted to go for that spot. I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
And then, Mike was like, "Whoa, you want to come up to Massachusetts and audition?" I'm like, "I can't. I'm in college, and should have taken the opportunity, but then we wouldn't be here." But the funny thing is, a year later, when I graduated, I said, "Hey, can I come up and audition?" They're like, "Sorry, we just moved Adam to guitar." I'm like, "Fuck!"
Yeah.
Take the opportunity when it comes, kids. You'll never know.
Yeah, right.
But you mentioned Killswitch. Like, what are some of your other influences? And not just hardcore. It could be anything. Like, I see, Denney, you have Sweet Jackson back there. So I'm going to assume that maybe Chuck Schuldiner is one of your influences.
Jay, definitely. Absolutely. He's just, between his vocals, guitar, everything, it's, Yeah, I got a couple guitars. I can't pick up my computer and show you, but I got a few guitars.
Well, I really admire the fact that you have a Steinberger bass back there.
Oh hell yeah! Got the headless. Yep.
Yeah. I myself have a Steinberger GT Pro Spirit as well. Love that thing. It stays in tune perfectly.
Nice.
But yeah, so what are some of your influences? And again, not just hardcore.
We have Denney and I have very different tastes in music. It's almost, you wouldn't even believe it. And I don't really even listen to music that's even like the music SickLife even makes, I feel. I'm a huge Deftones fan. I've loved Chino Moreno since Adrenaline came out back in the early 90s. I'm a big Korn fan. I'm a big Limp Bizkit fan. Love Fred Durst, love DJ Lethal. I'm a huge Slayer fan. Love Megadeth. I think Denney and I are both huge Pantera fans. So we have that core metal, but then we split off where Denney will listen to stuff way heavier. Then he'll listen to like Death. Meanwhile, I want to put on like Weezer. So we have a very wide range of music, that we listen to. I'll even throw on Phil Collins sometimes. You know what I mean? Like I'll put on stuff that you would never even think that a singer of a metalcore band would even.
I'll bust out like fucking Usher and shit. I'm listening to fucking R&B. Then I'm listening to fucking the heaviest metal you could possibly think of. Then I'm listening to Guns N' Roses, Pantera. So I'm all over, So we both have like just different avenues of music, and we just mesh it all together, and it fucking works,
I would have never guessed with a band like yours that you'd be influenced by Limp Bizkit of all things.
Love Limp Bizkit. Limp Bizkit was one of the first bands that really incorporated rap and metal. For me, from what I listen to.
Yeah.
And if you listen to Rage Against the Machine, Limp Bizkit was almost a natural progression. I mean, because I was in like high school and college, and they were huge. Fred Durst was like a celebrity, more than a musician. So I followed him almost in like tabloids in a way at first. You see him right with like Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears. I'm like, who's this guy? Let me check out his band. You know what I mean? But you could find these, as a lyricist too, not only like their sounds or their style, but I like to listen to what they write. And I pay attention to like their messages. So so not only do I pay attention to the music, but I also want to talk about what they're speaking about. And they were writers like Chester from Linkin Park. They really wrote to you. You know what I mean? Like some bands speak to you. And I feel like a lot of those bands that influenced me personally, I felt that connection with. So that was always important for me. I love Metallica, but they don't speak to me. Do you know what I mean? Like a band like Linkin Park speaks to you. You know what I mean? Like you hear what they're saying, and it makes a difference. Even though they might not be as talented, but the message gets through differently personally. So that's how I connected a lot of those bands that influenced me in my writing in SickLife.
Yeah,
that's cool. I totally respect that. I will admit when it comes to Limp Bizkit, I'm more interested in what's going on musically than I am lyrically. So I'm kind of like, you know what? I thought what Wes Borland was doing was innovative. Mm-hmm. I thought the rhythm section between John Otto and Sam was very tight. So as musicians, I give them all the credit in the world. And, I would have to say that my favorite song from them, and I don't know if it was just something I could relate to on a musical level, or if it just hit me because it just sounded good, or maybe it was the way that I thought Fred Durst actually conveyed the lyrics in a really good way. I'd have to say it would be Boiler. I thought Boiler was a killer song.
It is a killer song.
I will meet you there. Absolutely. Definitely. But no. And like I said, hey, look, when it comes to music, there's no right or wrong answer. It's whatever you like. And, you just got to, I tell people all the time, like, it's subjective. If it speaks to you, that's all that matters. Like on the other show that I co-host, Rat Saw Review, Wayne, my partner, his favorite band is Helloween. I like Helloween too. I'm not the fanboy he is. So, I will joke and say that the former lead singer, Michael Kiske, sounds like Walter, the French dog that goes, ah! I will joke with him and say that. But I'm totally cool with the fact that he loves him. Yes, Wayne, I'm taking a dig at you. Anyways.
And Lou, another thing too is we also want to represent bands that come from Long Island too. We're huge Vision of the Disorder fans.
Oh,
are
VOD. Yes.
we're huge VOD fans. I mean, I saw VOD at the PWAC. I mean, 25 years ago. You know, it's probably one of my first dozen shows with Madball and No Motive, and you know, and we love Glassjaw. I mean, they're at a Belmore, and even got Life of Agony that comes out of New York. You know, like there's so many bands that came from here that have influenced us too. You know, we have a song that's coming out probably in 6 months that is a complete derivative of just listening to VOD. And, and it's almost like you can't help it. You write it and it's like, wow, that sounds like it could be a VOD song. And you didn't even know it, but it's just inside of you. It's like part of your DNA.
Tim, I have to say that your delivery reminds me a lot of Tim Williams, and I really appreciated that a lot. Like, as someone who loved VOD growing up as well, to hear that kind of music again, I first of all, I just wanted to say thank you because I was really missing it.
Hell yeah.
But no, VOD were one of the great ones. Life of Agony, as you mentioned, from Brooklyn. Also Typo Negative from Brooklyn. It's funny. If you think about it, some of the most innovative bands came from New York, especially in the 90s. I mean, practically half the entire Roadrunner Records label was all New York bands. So that was a great time.
And I want to give a shout out to Candiria too, out of Brooklyn. I mean, what metal band can mix jazz, and death metal, and he's like he's a poet,
The first time I saw Candiria was at a VOD show, and I didn't know who Candiria was, and they came out, and I was just like, "Who the fuck are these guys? What the fuck?" And they came out with "Welcome to the Temple," and then just bust out this jazz shit. I was like, "Whoa,"
Denney. I saw them with Machine Head at CBGB's, and I never saw a crowd ignite more than when they started playing Faction. Within 3 seconds, that crowd was energized. It was insane. So just unbelievable band.
I can match you on that. Looney Tunes in West Babylon. They had a record release show for 300% density. Me and a couple of friends of mine went, and we started a pit in front of the building on the fucking street.
Wow.
And it was crazy.
That's awesome.
That is cool.
This is what I love about hardcore music is the fact that, it caters to like the everyday person, and it can be played by the everyday person. And it's just meant for people to just have a good time, have that release. And to know that there are people out there that are still doing it and doing it well, like I've never been more excited in my life to actually go to shows and support bands and tell people, hey, go support this band. I mean, now is definitely the time. Now that shit's opened up before they lock it down again. Sorry.
Fuck that.
But currently you release everything independently, correct? You're not signed to anyone? Is that something, is it a goal eventually to be represented by, let's say, one of the bigger independents out there? Or is it still important to you to maintain, like your publishing and your copyright and your ownership of your music? Because, you hear horror stories all the time about labels, major and independent, who, they scout for bands, think, yeah, we could sign them and make a buck off them. And then all of a sudden it's like, hey, their pockets are full, but where's our cash? Like that's the one thing I always, tell musicians. I'm just like, just watch out, make sure you read everything before you sign it. So what's the end goal for what you guys are doing?
Take it, Tim. Tell them.
Well, I think our end goal is just to take it as far as we can. We have amazing legal representation with Brett Lewis out in California. He's a phenomenal entertainment lawyer. I know he's always got our back. We have questions. He's always there to help us. So, we're just going to keep pushing forward. We're going to keep trying to get our music into the right hands, into the right people. And if the right situation for us comes along where we feel safe and secure, and we think that, a company has the right intentions in mind with getting more music out there, increasing that metal scene, then, getting signed and touring would be something that we would probably love to do, and I know, like we said earlier, this is all we want to do. I mean, this is all we want to do. I would write music, work on music all day long. Lou, I will play in your backyard this weekend if you want it.
I am repairing it. We're fixing the deck this summer, so I'll let you know.
We'll play on the grass, bro. It doesn't matter. It doesn't. We just want to perform. We want to perform. We want to take the tri-state by storm. We want to head out to Cali and tour out there. So we're just working closely with Mob Records, and we're hoping that pans out and turns into something. And we're just gonna take it day by day. But in the meantime, just gonna keep writing some killer riffs, killer words, and stay true to what SickLife stands for. And SickLife really is about living your best life. So that's what we're gonna do.
That's one thing I have to give your band is that, as I mentioned before, the breakdowns count where they are arranged, and the riffs are just like it hits you like a shit brick house. And
just wait till you hear the rest of these songs. Holy shit! We got something for you. Seriously,
I cannot wait. I cannot wait at all. Around what year did the band form, by the way?
It's been a while.
Probably I'd say probably 2012.
Yeah, around
I'd say around there. We had a member that had some chronic health problems. So there was probably about half that time. It was kind of like waiting around for him to recover. Yeah. And that was always important to us, making sure he was healthy. And sticking together. So a good portion of that time, we weren't really pursuing anything, but now our lineup has changed, and we're focused, we're driven, we're geared towards being successful. And like I said, we just got our new drummer John, who's unbelievable, and he'll be with us on Friday night, and we're just ready to keep marching forward. And the new music is insane. It is insane. That's all I can say.
That is amazing. Who are some of the bands that? What are some of the venues that, I know I mentioned Revolution just now. I think it's safe to say that you guys definitely played there,
yes,
amongst other venues. What are some of the other venues that you've played in the past, and some of the bands that you've opened up for? Because I do know that Long Island's got a killer hotbed of original talent. I also know that it's a place where international touring acts come through, and to get on bills like that is just jumping at the right opportunity at the right moment. What are some of the places and bands that you played with?
It's been difficult to get shows. We had a lot of trouble. Even if you think we're good, it was always so hard to know someone to get on somewhere. I mean, we did a lot of nothing shows for girlfriends, you know what I mean, and friends and relatives. But we're going to hope that's going to change now that we have some representation, we have some more connections. Maybe the new music will make a difference. Maybe post-pandemic, people will be a little more open to having local bands open for acts. And we ran into a lot of pay to play that we sort of were trying to avoid. We sort of were trying to avoid because you feel like kind of used. You want to just say, listen to our music. If you believe in us, let us open. Give us 30 minutes. And it's been real hard to avoid those pay to play options, which we've had, and we've turned them down because it's the principle for it. We know how the game is played, but we really want to try to make it on our own steam. Where our music speaks for ourselves and not our wallets. Or our paychecks.
If I may interject for a moment, so all you promoters out there who believe in pay to play, go fuck yourselves. Your job as a promoter is to find the best bands out there so you could pack your shitty little venues with the original talent, have the fucking tribute and cover bands open for them because they're the ones that are writing their own shit and going out and playing it. And you guys that sit there and your fat asses drinking all the booze from the venue, taking the freaking cuts from the freaking bartenders, eating all the food that is not that good anyways. You're taking money from them. Fuck y'all.
Go fuck yourselves.
Well said. Well said.
I'm sorry. I hear pay to play, and yes, I'm going to say this like a little millennial. I get triggered.
Yeah. Well, it's frustrating. And and then what that does is, and then you sort of indenture and put this pressure on your own friends and family, like, oh, now you have to come. You have to. I don't want that kind of feeling. I want to be out there where people want to come. They want to have a good time. They want to listen. Where they know what SickLife stands for. We're all about singing about the extremes of life, love and hate, life and death, and all the feelings in between. And it's just, it means a lot to us. You know, it really, we're not just playing music, but we're really like, you know, bearing our own soul every night on stage whenever we play, whenever we do a practice. You know, sometimes Denney and I just do heavy metal a cappella in his dining room where he just plays guitar and I scream into a microphone out of a single PA speaker.
You should do a TikTok channel on that.
Absolutely. You know, so it's really about sharing those emotions with people and, you know, and telling a story. And that's really what we want to do. And that's what we want to do for the next 25 years, you know?
I think that's an awesome way to look at it. And I just wish you guys nothing but the best, because I think it's great when people from, you know, that people from your area, and, you know, even though I try to bring this internationally, that's why I put it on YouTube, you know, so there are a couple of viewers in European countries, because that seems to be like the only place where they care about this kind of music. Not saying anything about, you know what I mean? I don't have to apologize for it. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, with what it is that you're doing with writing the original music and putting it out there, you know, I just want to help with that, you know, like there's nothing more that I want to see, you know, local homegrown talent, you know, make it, because I'm sorry, I grew up in a time where, you know, you could hear like rock music, pop music, hip hop music, you could hear it all on the same radio station sometimes, or you were able to watch it on MTV back in the day. I'd like to bring it. Oh, yeah, that's a bad word, MTV. You know, I wish that it could come back to that, and people just like, you know, stop caring about like, you know, what's in the top 40, or, you know, what hair color Billie Eilish, you know, is using right now. I don't care about that shit. For me, it's the music is the substance, and that's what needs to matters. And just from the EP alone, I got that. You know, I didn't feel like it was contrived, and I'm only looking forward to hearing, you know, more stuff. The fact that you have stuff ready to be released this year, I'm excited. And you know, anything I could do to help promote it and spread the good word, you know, I definitely will. Which leads me to my next question: where can we buy your merch?
Well, merch is coming. So you'll be able to buy it on Instagram, and you'll be able to buy it at shows. So if you just go to at SickLife NY for Instagram, all our merch will be on there probably in the next 3 to 4 weeks. So we're gonna have stickers, we're gonna have car decals, we're gonna have trucker hats, we're gonna have winter skull caps, we're gonna have wristbands, we're gonna have T-shirts. We're gonna go into we're gonna have some jerseys. So we're gonna have a whole bunch of stuff that's gonna be coming out soon. Orders are placed, and we're just really waiting to finalize some templates, and it'll be up there soon, and you'll be able to spend all your money.
I'll throw you a hundo. Get me whatever it affords me. It's all good. Whatever I can do to support. That's great.
Lou, we can't thank you enough, Lou. Thank you so much.
No problem. Oh, we're far from over yet. I still got more questions. It's okay. But unless you guys got to run.
No, not at all.
All right, cool. Yeah, just a couple more questions. But the next thing that I wanted to ask, though, was another big thing that I'm all about is keeping physical media alive. Like, I'm still a guy that buys CDs. I know there's tons of guys out there who still buy vinyl, you know, 7 inches and full lengths. How do you guys feel about physical media? Or is it something you're mostly keeping on the digital side? Because I know Tony and Mob Hit, I know that they're really concentrating on more digital platforms, because that seems to be their way. But, you know, you guys being, you know, your own band, your own individuals, you probably feel differently. Are you guys eventually going to release your own? Is everything going to be available in the physical media?
I think we'll have some CDs available, but these days it's the streaming shit that's the big market. You know, all the streaming. But there's something about having a physical CD. You know, it means a lot. You know, and that brings us back to our childhood. Going to Tower Records, going to wherever to buy on a Tuesday to buy that new album. You know, kids have no idea what the fuck that means. Shit just like uploads into your phone. There's no significance about like buying a CD or having, you know. So I definitely am all about fucking physical shit, you know.
I still have my Sony Walkman with my Memorex tapes.
Yeah.
You know, where Megadeth's Angry Again ends halfway through, and I just instinctually think that's the entire song because I've listened to it
Oh
10,000
my
times
goodness.
while delivering Newsday papers. So, it's I like the physical media too. I like tapes. I like CDs. You lease a new car now, Lou. You can't. A CD player is a special order.
Yeah.
You don't even get a CD player.
Yeah.
You don't even get a CD player anymore. So trying to find the machines that even play that old media is difficult.
Fuck yeah.
So, we're almost being forced into that streaming live, world. And look at Tool. Tool tried to avoid, being streamed for 10 years now. And they finally just gave in, because they felt it compromised their music. They didn't want people to listen to one song. They wanted people to listen to the whole album.
Right.
Like you're saying, you get a Tool CD, you're going to listen to the whole CD, but now people can pick apart these albums and mix and match and make their own playlist. And it really messes with the artist's integrity where one album is a story, but every song is a piece of it. And if you start mixing songs from different albums, it distorts the message that the artist is trying to send to the listener.
I agree.
So it's totally just changed the way people listen to music and the way artists want to release music. It's just different times now.
Yeah, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not a fan of that kind of thinking myself personally. The way I look at it, when a band has an album out and they have the track listing the way it is because in their minds that they feel that this is the way it best represents the album, and you have to respect that commitment to their music. And I think as a listener, you owe them, the respect to listen to it the way that it intended. I mean, I got nothing against singles, I got nothing against playlists, but I'm still the same guy who would rather listen to an album from start to finish if it's something that I love. I don't like to just pick apart and be like, oh yeah, I'll add that song into every playlist and fuck the rest of the album. No, it's like I want give me quality over quantity. Give me a quality album, not But that's always been the way I feel. And if I'm considered an old fart because of that, I don't give a shit,
Fuck it, right?
Works for me.
Same way, man. Same way.
But Tony Santana and you guys, I'm assuming because he's from New York originally, you guys go way back?
I got a friend that goes way back with him and hooked us up a few years back. And me and Tony, he came over to my house one day. It was my birthday, actually. And me and my homegirl having a jam session. And I just handed him a guitar. I was like, here, take this. Play some shit. We just started jamming. It was the coolest fucking jam session. It was all on the spot, So my homegirl's rapping. He's playing some sick rhythm. I'm playing some lead shit. And from then on, it was like, boom. It's like, a few years back. And then that was when he was in New York again. Then he moved back to California. So we've been staying in touch, trying to get shit popping off. And now we got the single coming out with him. It's going to be fucking insane.
Insane.
I can't wait to hear that. I mean, what I love about what he's doing, especially with Mobhead Records, is that he's going against the grain of I guess you could say the record label status quo. You know what I mean? Like he's not doing what everyone else is doing. And, his whole thing is, he doesn't expect like anyone to sign their name on a contract, but he just wants commitment that whoever he works with delivers great music so that he could just put it out to the world. Mm-hmm. And, if it wasn't for him, I would have never had been exposed to SickLife. And especially with the last 15 months, when there was no exposure to music, it was rather difficult. And he was keeping that alive in California and helping bands like you guys out in New York. It's a blessing. It's I really appreciate what he's doing. However, all due respect to him, it wouldn't be as meaningful if it wasn't for you guys who write the songs to write such great material. And, consider me a fan for life. That's especially from a four song EP, people. Can't say that about many bands, but I think it's great. And how soon before it's released? Are we looking about sometime in the fall?
6 weeks, get the first release, and expect something at least every 4 weeks after that going forward for the next year or so.
Yep.
That is amazing. And if people want to find out more about SickLife, where can they find you? I know you guys have the Instagram page, but please feel free to use this time to promote all your links. And of course, we will put links in the description for this video.
Yeah, we got our website. It's SickLifeNY.com. Definitely we keep updated there where our shows are at. Any new merch we have, everything we're doing will be on the website. It'll be on Instagram also. Our email is sicklife@gmail.com. People have questions or whatever, they can hit us up. We're definitely, we're out there to meet people, talk to people, make new contacts, play shows, put music out, do it all,
And I'm giving a message out to all the venues and promoters. If you have the balls, book these guys because they are that fucking good. All right. And you need some good music, some good original music in your venues. Not the free. I mean, all due respect to the cover band. Oh, fuck them anyways. Book the original shit.
Yeah. Agreed.
That's right.
Tim, Denney, I can't thank you guys enough for joining me tonight. I really appreciate it. Please use this moment to shout out anybody that you want.
Yeah, well, we just want to thank Tony Santana, Mob Records, for believing in us and taking some chances with us. We have a single coming out with him called Just Beg. That'll be out in about 6 weeks. Special shout out to our creative director, Kay. We just met her not too long ago, and she's been amazing. So talented with what she does. We want to give a shout out to our old drummer and bassist, Mitch Shirker and Chris Hollowell. We've parted ways, but they're always going to be a part of the SickLife family and our direction. I personally want to thank Denney for being an amazing friend and an even more amazing guitarist. He's creative. He works tirelessly. He produces. He puts his own solo stuff out on Instagram. He's multi-dimensional musician. And I want to give a shout out to our new friend Lou. We live close, man. Levittown isn't that far away. So I see beers in the future, and I see us ruining your backyard after you finish fixing it. So,
well, the invite's open. Thank you guys so much. And by the way, because I know you guys are performing at Shaker's Pub on Friday, I'm putting up the raw file of this interview tonight.
Awesome.
So around midnight. So as soon as I do, and the video and the audio is up, I will hit you guys up with it. Blast that shit. I want to hear that people are going to be at Shaker's on Friday and throwing down, doing their thing. Windmills, picking up change, all that good shit.
Everything. And I just want to give one more shout out to the 3 biggest SickLife fans, my 3 little boys, Max, Ryan, and Michael, who are the next generation of SickLife followers. And I would say in about 5 bands, Lou, you'll be interviewing the first father-son heavy metal band from Long Island that's going to take over after SickLife takes over. So wait till you hear those kids and how musically inclined they are. They're unbelievable.
Hey, I'm sure that it's a fact that the apple does not fall far from the tree. I have a daughter who's turning 3, and already she's doing this. Keeping a steady rhythm. So I think I have the future Neil Peart in my house, but that's all right. I could live with that. Honey, if you watch this later on, please don't be loud. Daddy has to sleep. I'm getting old. Anyways, Tim, Denney, I can't thank you guys enough. SickLife, SickLifeNY.com. Check it out. And if you want to check out more about this podcast, check us out over at musicisLifepodcast.com. Also check out our parent network, RatSideReview.com. Check out some of the other podcasts that are on that network, including Vieira Vault with Ralph Vieira from Thrash or Die, aka Dr. Fuck himself. Also check out the Mothership Show, Rat Side Review, Beyond Bushido, which is an MMA and pro wrestling podcast hosted by Eric Adams and JL. Also check out the South Park podcast, Suck My Balls. That always gets a reaction. It never fails. And also check out Old Man Metal's Musings, where he talks about everything from metal to hot sauce. And again, I'm challenging you to a hot sauce eating contest. Okay, I've survived scorpion pepper. I could survive whatever you give me. I hope. But anyways, check us out again over at musicisLifepodcast.com. Once again, Denney, Tim, SickLife, thank you guys so much.
Thank you, Lou.
And remember, all art is valid. Have a good night.
All right, Lou. Thank you.